If you're new to this channel, I've been building a financial forecasting process in Microsoft Power BI and Microsoft Fabric for a fake construction company. In this theoretical process, the project managers will enter in a monthly forecast for a set of financial accounts to be consumed by their CEO. In the previous videos of the series, we've talked requirements, we've done some initial mockups of both the UI and the data model, and then we've built the data model itself in a Microsoft Fabric data warehouse that's meant to be used via direct lake functionality. Today, we're going to be building out the translytical task flow, or in other words, coding the user data function that's going to enable the Power BI report to save data back into our Fabric data warehouse. Hi, my name's Ned. This little guy is my dog Jai, who's equally into data as much as I am. And today we're going to be actually doing the coding that enables Writeback to Microsoft Power BI. Now, I know this is a super popular subject right now. So before we get into this, if you could do me a favor and subscribe and like, just to let me know that you like this kind of video content, I would really appreciate it. All right, let's get ready to code. Let's build an interactive Python function for Power BI. All right, so first things first, I'm going to log into Microsoft Fabric and we're going to review what we actually have done already. So I created a data warehouse right here that you can see. It's called construction data. And in the DBO schema in here, I've created 4 tables. I've created an accounts table, a departments table, a fact budget table, which is currently empty, and then a fiscal calendar table. And then I've gone ahead and I've taken all of these tables right here and I've built out this direct lake semantic model. If we take a look or a closer look at this semantic model, what you'll see is that it's a star schema with then just a simple calculated table right over here for measures. If you want to see me build this, go watch the earlier videos in this series, which I will link down below in the video description. Now, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be writing the Python code that is going to read and write back to this fact budget table from Microsoft Power BI. This code has the possibility to be a little complex, but we're going to try to do as much of it as in SQL as we possibly can, and then just use Python to execute that SQL. So what does that mean from a solution standpoint? Well, it means we're going to start by writing a SQL script and we're going to write it like a stored procedure. So we're going to write it with variable inputs and then different steps. So the idea will be that those variable inputs can be used by the various steps to read and to write. So starting out, let's go back into the SQL endpoint of our Microsoft Fabric data warehouse. And now we are ready to get coding. Okay, so we're going to need to declare a few different variables here related to our fact budget table, which this is where we're going to be reading and writing to. So expanding this fact budget table right here, and I'm closing out of that, we have budget ID, account ID, fiscal period ID, department, the value, and then the is current value flag. And we'll have that flag be a yes or a no. So when we go into this, I'm going to declare a few variables. The first variable I'm going to declare is going to be my budget ID. The next variable I'm going to declare is going to be my account ID. Then I'm going to declare my fiscal period ID. Then I'm going to declare my my new value, right? Or the value that Power BI is going to pass into the SQL script. So I'll declare this as new value. And then I'll go through and set some data types here. So this will be an int. This one will also be an int, int, int. Then this new value, this is going to be a dollar value right here. Oh, and I forgot department ID. So I'm going to copy this. Go right here and go department ID. Okay, so here we are. We have all of these. And then my new value is going to be a decimal. And because it's going to be money, we're going to go 18, 2. And whoopsie, my numlock was not on. So we'll go 18, 2, right? And then we'll set some of these initial values. We'll go 10.00, department ID will we'll set all these to 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. We'll set you to 1, and then we'll set you to 1, and then we'll add our colons after all these. So just like that, we've now declared some variables that we can use in our script. Now, what this is going to have to do is it's going to have to do a couple of things. And this is where we really need to start to think about how a user is going to interact with this dashboard. So if they're entering in data for the first time of a fiscal period, we're going to want the SQL script to execute an insert. Now, if they're editing data that's already been entered or replacing a new value, we're going to want for it to set the old record not to current and then insert a new record as the new current record. However, let's just say they hit the edit button and they type in the same value, right? There's no need for us to set that the old record equal to no longer valid, and then insert a new one because that's just creating duplicative data. So that boils down to a few core requirements that I think I can write a little bit more simply. And here we are. So first, if the account period and department combo exists in our fact budget table, then we want it to insert the record. If the account period combo exists and the value that the person is trying to pass from Power BI is different than the current record, invalidate the old record and insert a new one. And then finally, if the account period combo exists and the value that they're trying to insert is the same, we don't want the code to do anything. Now, this scenario is pretty much perfect for a SQL merge statement. Unfortunately, because we're in Microsoft Fabric, they haven't enabled this yet. So what we're going to end up doing is we are going to end up writing two statements. The first statement is going to be an update statement that will take care of this scenario right here. And then the second statement will be a update statement that will take care of these two scenarios right here. And we're going to do it for the second one using this is current value record. So the update will run first and invalidate the old record. And then the next insert statement will essentially say, look for the account period combo where is current value equals current value record yes, and execute that insert. And then we obviously don't need to write any code for this situation where we don't want it to do anything. So let's go ahead and let's get coding. Okay, so we're going to write our update statement and we're going to go ahead and we are going to update FB. And we're going to go down here and we're going to go from, and we're going to right click here and go insert onto this canvas. And we're going to go as FB, right? And then we're going to set the is current right here. And you always have to keep these caps. Side note, these caps sensitive. Current value equal to no. So I'm using n because this is just a varchar right here. From FB, and we're going to go where FB dot, and we'll go fiscal period ID equals, and we'll go at account ID right here. So we'll grab that, and FB dot department ID equals at department right there. Nice, this is looking good. And then we'll go down here and we'll go end FB dot is current value equal to y, right? Because we only want to update it if it's that. And then we'll go and FB dot value not equal to, and we'll grab our new value. So this is going to take care of invalidating that old record where the values are different. And as you can see, this is a reserved keyword. So we're going to put it in brackets. Okay, the next piece of this is just a little bit more complicated. So we're going to go insert into, right? And we got to put a colon here. I forgot that. And we're going to grab this table right here. And here we will not give it a alias, but we will list out our column name. So budget, ID, account ID, fiscal period ID, department ID, Then we'll go right here. We'll go value. Nice. And then we'll go is current value, right? Because that's what we're going to insert in. And then from here, we will select and we will go where not exists. Nice. We'll go right here. And we're going to select a few columns, mainly our variables that we want to insert. So we're going to start with budget ID. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to move down to account ID. Nice. Then we are going to go down right here and we're going to put in fiscal period ID. Nice. And then we're going to put in department ID. Then right here, we're going to put in new value, right? Because that'll be the value that we are inserting right here. And then our next line is going to be a Y, right? Because this is going to be the current record. And then we are going to go ahead and we are going to grab this statement right here, right? So all these are equal. And we will go where not exists. And we will select one from, and we'll go down here. We'll paste that right here. And then we will change this away from not equal to equal, right? Because this is the one scenario that we don't want to insert on is where, hey, everything is equal, right? So where account is the same, department is the same. Fiscal period ID. So you got, oh, actually, I might have mistyped this. Oops. So right up here is I did fiscal period ID is equal to account ID. This needs to go boop. And we need to grab this fiscal period ID, and then we'll go right over here, right, and we'll go boop, FB dot account ID equals that. So then we're saying, and we need to add the and here. Nice. So then where you've got account ID, fiscal period ID, department is current value, is value not equal to this. And I'm just going to quickly grab this and correct the order of these just because I like having them in the same order as the columns, right? So we've got account, fiscal period, department is current value, and then value. So we'll grab this again. Just putting things in the order of the columns here. Nothing fancy, right? So we'll grab that, boop, boop, boop. And we'll now bring this down here, right? So we've got account, fiscal period, department. Our value will be equals to new value, and then this will be Y. So we should now be able to hit the old run button on this. And what it should do is it should insert in our record. Although if you notice, oops, it's saying a few things could not be bound. And why is that? FB count ID cannot be bound. So this is where this is really sensitive to capitalization. Oh, I see. Actually, I called all these FB, so that's why it's throwing an error. Because I just copied and pasted down. Okay, so now let's run this. And hopefully we will get a success message and not more errors, but I know we're probably going to get an error. Nope, it ran. Okay, so let's go and we'll go right here and we'll create a new SQL query. So we'll select star from, and we'll go back over here and we'll go insert onto canvas and we'll run that. And we should see our one row. Okay, so now let's test this, right? So it entered in this value, current value, so that's good. Let's run this one more time, and it now shouldn't insert in anything, right? So 0 records. So if we run this, still nothing. But then if we go ahead and we change the value up here to $10.01, it should recognize that the two are different, right? And so it should update the old record to not valid, right? And then it sets it over here to no, and here's the new value. Now, one thing that you might notice is that this budget ID is static. We are going to handle updating this budget ID with Python, and that's because auto incrementing primary keys are not currently enabled again in Microsoft Fabric. So now that we have this, we can basically take this SQL script and we can just plop it into our user data function. That said, that was just almost 15 minutes of watching me struggle through SQL, doing my copy and paste thing. So we are going to pick this back up in the next video where we will write the Python logic to generate the primary key because we're going to do that using Python. And then we're going to take this SQL script and we're just going to paste it into the translytical task flow. This probably would be a good candidate to be put into a stored procedure. Actually, now that I am thinking about it, so maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll put it into a stored procedure and then we'll call the stored procedure from the translytical task flow. These videos, as you might be able to tell, have been a little rough, and that's because I'm building alongside you. So if you like this style of content, again, please subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching.